without further wasting our time. So yeah, I'm Abdul-Azeez, and I'm a graduate of the pharmaceutical sciences program at Robert Gordon University. Um, to pursue my master's in the UK, I got a fully funded scholarship from the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission. And just to give a brief overview of why we're doing this, we've noticed a gap around graduates of pharmacology department and having this anxiety as to how to proceed with their career following their BSc degree. And we thought, how could we address this issue? We all agree that the purpose of a BSc degree isn't just to tie you down to a particular line of career in your life. And that's why you could see, if you check our panelists, we have people that have, gone to various sectors, various industries in life. And these are all people that all have passion for pharmacology, and they still have passion for pharmacology. That's why they are able to join us here. So we wouldn't waste our time. We'll just get to it. Again, the target audience for this program is the graduating set of pharmacology across all pharmacology offering universities in Nigeria, as well as the 400 level students. Well, again, I'm aware that we have other students from other departments, which is also equally fine, but just to establish, this is our target audience in case we are discussing something you think is not related to you. Pardon us for that. So I'll go on to introduce our speakers one by one. We have Mr. Emmanuel Ojo, who is a PhD candidate. He's fourth year, almost rounding up in Southern Illinois University, Carbon in the USA. His specialty is neuroscience. Next, we have Mr. Larry Akindere. He's a consultant, is an associate at KPMG, one of the big four consulting firms, if you know what I mean. And we are pleased to have you here. He's from the 2016 set, if I remember, yeah. We have Joseph Anya. He's a serial entrepreneur from the 2018 set, the CEO of Livebox Lab. And we have Khalid Imam, who is also from the 2018 set, yeah, I think I'm correct. And he's he's in the creative industry, yeah. So who else do we have? We have Mr. Isaac Idowu, who is a junior onboarding associate at Pharma. And we have Mr. Feyi Abioye. Sorry, let me check these out. Who is a front-end developer, yeah, and he's also from the 2018 set. We have Omolade Bolaji, who is also a sales associate at Pharma. I'm trying to pin all of them so you can see their faces rather. And we have Mr. Joshua also, who is a vaccine consultant at John Hopkins Program for International Development. Please, I will just leave the floor for Gabriel to state the meeting engagement rules while I ensure all panelists are pinned so that we could all have them on one screen. Gabriel, please go on.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the good introduction. I want to say a very big welcome to everyone. Just as I was saying briefly earlier, there are rules and regulations. First and foremost, all panelists should please put on their cameras. This would aid interaction. Secondly, if questions are for the audience, if you do have any questions as we move along in this session, please do well to message these questions to Abdul-Azeez or myself. I've seen those finally. Also would love, good decorum. If you're not speaking, please put off your microphones as well. And as I said, for the panelists, just to have a good understanding of time, it would be good to know that we have about 2 minutes to address a question. Some questions will be put to some certain panelists, while some questions will be across the board for everyone to answer. So please do well to engage as much as possible. We want to sort out your honest opinions on different matters. And for the audience, do well to also be engaged as well. Thank you very much. Would be going into the meat of the matter for today. Just so we know, once again, welcome Emmanuel, welcome Joseph, welcome Khalid, welcome Isaac, and every other panelist, Bolaji, Larry, and all our panelists.
Excuse me, I've not introduced, I'm being told that Nedu has joined us. So we have Christian Nedu, who is a logistic associate at 54 Gene, the popular 54 Gene. And we also have Majek Odume Adebowale Majek, who is the programs manager at Monster Point. We appreciate your presence. I've introduced Feyi. I think that will be everyone. But please, we will appreciate all panelists turning on their video. Who is that? Please. Okay, we have Khalid Imam. It's easier to facilitate when I have all my panelists with their videos on, please. So, I mean, we would have a quick poll. So just to be sure that we have our audience with us, I'll be running a quick poll now, and I will appreciate your responses in just a minute, please. This is going to be interesting. Yeah. So we have it. 1 minute. Aside our panelists, just for the audience. I hope everyone can see it. Okay, yeah. I'm getting responses already. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mr. Joshua is having some issues joining, but I'm sorting that out here.
Please, once again, can the panelists please on their videos? Please.
I mean, just to give a brief rundown of our agenda again, we've done the introduction, we've stated the meeting engagements, we're having our poll now. Then from there, we'll get straight to the topic of today, engaging the panelists. Following that, we're going to have a question and answer session, and we'll round it up at the end of the meeting survey, then vote of tag. I mean, this is good. I think I'm just going to end the poll right now. We have 34 respondents already. I'm going to be sharing the results. Wow. I hope you can all see the results, yeah? So, I mean, thanks for trusting us, guys. Everyone trusts that this session is going to help them gain some clarity, and I really I'm happy about that. Thanks for trusting us, and it looks like we have the majority of the respondents were somewhat clear about their next steps, and which is a good thing. We have some people that are just indifferent, and some people are still unclear. And just 3 people are very clear. I mean, that's normal. Perhaps I wasn't even clear though during my own time. So I wouldn't bother about that. So let's just get into the matter now. Yeah. So, okay, bro, please get on to it.
Yes. Just going straight to the meat of the matter today. The first question that I'll be posing to all the panelists, we're going to be taking your answers. Please, I would love everyone to be as engaged as possible. The first question is, highlight your journey following your pharmacology degree. What we're talking of here, the question is to give a brief summary of your journey so far. Most of us have been introduced, and the audience know where we are now, but the little journey or the little steps that took us to where we are, just a highlight of that journey. I would first be starting with Emmanuel, sir.
Hello, everyone. So I'll be quick about it. So as you all know now, I had my bachelor's in pharmacology, University of Lagos, obviously. Then I went ahead to do my master's again in University of Lagos, pharmacology. Then after that, when I was doing my master's, I already knew what I wanted. Like, I wanted to do like something else, somewhere else. So then I was thinking of applying for a PhD again in pharmacology again, but now in a different like country. Then I decided to be in the US. So that's just like my brief introduction.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you very much. BSc Pharmacology, Master's Pharmacology in Nigeria, and a PhD in the United States of America. Wonderful. Second panelist I'll be asking will be Larry Akindere. Please, could you just give us a brief rundown of your
Hi guys, please confirm if you can hear me. Okay,
yes, we fine.
So myself as well, I finished pharmacology BSc 2016, and just right after that, NYSC, and I really didn't have much of a long journey like that. So just right after NYSC, about a few months, I got into KPMG, where I had the chance to switch from pharmacology to auditing, accounting, and finance. So that's what I currently do. There's not much to it, really. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Larry. Sorry, we are hearing a background noise, probably music playing in the background. I don't know, but
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Oh, okay, that's fine. Thought it was from someone else. That's good. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Larry. That's really a good journey. I'll be going next to Joseph Aya, please. Please, could you put on your video, Joseph?
Hi guys, can you guys hear me? All right. So I graduated from University of Lagos Pharmacology Department in 2018, and I basically started my company. That it was that simple. That's it. So I've been working on Lifebox Labs since then, and it's been good so far. That's basically it. I don't really have like a very long journey.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to the next person, Khalid, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. It's evening, yeah. Good evening, everyone. I finished for pharmacology 2018. After that, the next day was I went for a fully funded course on design and graphic design and product design, and afterwards, that's where I gained the skills for the career I'm currently pursuing. So that's basically it, from pharmac to graphic design.
Oh, that's a switch. Those are two different worlds apart, but it's good to have you on the panel as well, bringing diversity. Yeah, it's really important. Please, I would love to invite Isaac Udo. Please, could you switch on your camera as well as you give us your journey?
Hello. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
It's quite faint, Isaac. I don't know if...
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Ah, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm in motion. I had to be wrong with this one. Thanks.
Yeah.
I finished pharmacology in the year 2016. And, I think went for my NYC. So during my NYC, I kind of had a bit of idea where I wanted to be because I wanted to work in pharma industry. So I started to look out for opportunities that were in my NYC. So I talked to people. One thing I did was I talked to people who had undertaken that journey. So I started looking at what I needed. So when I was done, I was hired by Chanrai as a medical representative. So we are getting advice from Chanrai Healthcare to pharmaceuticals. So then after a while there, I think almost
Oh, sorry to interject, Isaac. Most people can't really hear you now. It's just it's quite faint. I don't know if there's any way you could salvage the situation just now.
Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll go to the next speaker. I'll try.
Okay. I would come back. Yeah, I'll come back so that you can get in a better position. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's probably information reaching me now is so Joshua is in. Aziz, could you just quickly introduce Joshua while we move on?
We'll just let him do the highlights part as well. Mr. Joshua is a vaccine consultant with John Hopkins Program for International Development in the international development sector, or they call them social development sector as well. And is our humble NIPSA president, the first ever NIPSA president. NIPSA is Nigerian Pharmacology Student Association. They were the founding fathers, and it's because of their hard work and vision we're actually here. So, Mr. Joshua, please kindly help us your career journey since post pharmacology degree at the University of Lagos. I would appreciate if you can have your camera as well. You are still muted, sir.
Okay, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, very clear. Excellent.
Okay, nice seeing every one of you. Like seriously, I'm very happy seeing every one of you on this panel. And it's actually a great pleasure seeing every one of you. Okay, so briefly, Joshua Latuja is my name. I finished at the Department of Pharmacology in 2015, and I proceeded forward to having my NYC in the northern part of Nigeria. And since then, I've been in the developmental sector of, the one we popularly call the NGO. So currently, I'm a supply chain specialist at the John Hopkins. We call it the PIGO. That is just a name. It's no longer an abbreviation. It's an household name. So the PIGO. I'm currently working on the rice project. We call it the Timek Rice project in Taraba State. But prior to that, I've worked in some other parts of the country, basically in northern part of Nigeria. So I also had my master's in public health from the University of South Wales in 2020. That was about 2 years ago. And yes, at least I've been really enjoying the new field that pharmacology has actually allowed me to really venture into. Thank you.
Excellent. I think Faye is next. Yeah.
Yes, please, Faye.
Hi, everyone. So I graduated in 2018, or was it 2019? One of those years, yeah. I think I was 2018 state, but we actually finished rounded up in 2019. So I ran on vibes for 1 year. I was basically running on vibes for a year after graduation. Then 2 years after, I got into tech seriously, and I currently work as a front-end developer, as a software developer. That's basically my journey so far.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want to highlight your career journey as well? Then followed by Majek, then we'll get into the next question. Thank you. Christian.
Can everybody hear
Can you please be louder?
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And I suppose everyone could.
My name is Christian. My name is Christian. I graduated 2018, 2019. I'm currently a supply chain associate at Coaching. My journey started in 2018, just while I started out at pharma, supply chain here. I spent for a year, then for a year before I went to my NYC. After NYC, so still on supply chain.
Can you speak louder, Nedu? Your voice is not on. It's not very
low, yeah.
It's not the best.
Yeah, very. I think I have some audio issues, but basically I think that's also far.
All right, thanks for that, Nedu. Majek, please go on.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bawale, popular known as Jack. So finished 2018, entered NYC, and that was when I worked. Like that was in Nigeria State. Worked with LMCU, the Ministry of Health on supply chain, cost supply chain throughout the state. Back from NYC. I think I just started to like work on my personal. So I have this other part where it's like art, right? So I was working on that, but then I figured out some things like you need to learn one or two things in order to properly build the company and actually structure. So, and I just started working as director of programs at Monster Point, the co-working space. They're into incubation and acceleration for startups and businesses. So, yeah, that was it basically.
Thank you, Majek, for that. I'll just get into the next question because we spent about 30 minutes doing introductions. That's not a good use of time. So next to our next question. I mean, we want to know why some of our panelists have chosen their current specialties, and as in what influenced your career choice. And to do this, we'll be starting with Mr. Larry. What influenced your current career choice? Please go
on. Well, I wouldn't say there is a pinpoint influence like that. I would just say it was the opportunity. Like I came across different opportunities, and I came across an opportunity in the pharmaceutical industry as well. But it's strange that I turned it down for finance. And okay, I think I'll be able to talk about what influenced my choice now to go with finance as against pharmaceutical industry. So the firm I got employment with, that's KPMG, I kind of was attracted to the structure, like the corporate structure, how you could grow your career progressively year by year. Of course, as long as you do well, which we all want to do, and the opportunities that are open from working with this kind of firm for say like 3-4 years, the kind of opportunity you can like delve into, even beyond finance, down to investment banking, down to becoming business controllers, and like all sorts of things that you can be able to do. So I felt it was a good chance and it was a good switch. And besides that, I kind of know someone who had gone through that path as well, who was also a pharmacology graduate, I think from 2014 set. Also another person from 2015 set, pharmacology graduate as well. So it was like, I would say they kind of told me how the path looks like, the opportunities to expect or the opportunities I can get. So I guess that was part of the things that influenced my decision.
Thank you very much. So it was more of using an opportunity and leveraging alumni connections to further your career. That's good. Mr. Joshua, would like to know what influenced your career decision. I mean, NGO, we all know is the big fish now. Please share with our audience what influenced this career choice.
Thank you. You said it's a big fish, right?
I mean, that's the perception.
Okay, well, it's a very interesting field though. And we have fish in the river and the ocean is wide enough for anyone that actually wants to swim in it. So I will not say there is a specific thing that influenced my choice of career, but I want every one of us to know that there are interruptions that come along our way in life, and seeing opportunities in those interruptions is very, very key. We may all have our set out goal that this is what we want to achieve. This is the path we want to go. But something will just come along the way that will bring about an unplanned interruption. Now, mind you, I said interruption, not distraction. So once you see these interruptions and you are sharp enough to see the opportunities that are therein, then you can actually give it a go. That is actually what happened to me. I was opportune to work in a ERT clinic during my NYC, and there was a lot of work. I think I have someone here that served with me in KB. Yeah, among the panelists there. So I think we met in KB State. So I was actually working in the ERT clinic. Well, they don't actually have a pharmacist. And I was serving as an ERT pharmacy. So doing the work zealously with all my strength, and an opportunity opened. So I volunteered. I gained some experience there, and when there was opening in the organization I was volunteering for, I went direct from being a volunteer to an officer. That is a very great leap that you don't just get very easily. So, but that opportunity came, I got it with the help of my mentors. Then I continued to build on it, and here am I today. So taking good use of opportunities that come your way. Thank you.
I mean, it's similar to our first panelist situation, opportunity, but not just of being opportuned. Taking the opportunity seriously and being hardworking as well, being diligent at it. So we'll move to Joseph, the serial entrepreneur. Like, this is like, I mean, everyone is trying to line their CV in one company or the other, but you just chose to start like that, like Life Box Lab. I saw one the other advert the other day. Throw your diabetic meds away. That's coming from a pharmacologist. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. But can you please quickly, briefly let us know what influenced this career choice? Yeah?
Okay, so I think one of the reasons why I went into entrepreneurship was that I was initially interested in tech. And so while I was in school, I was very honest, kind of lost some interest in pharmacology. I thought I would enjoy it, but it got to the point I was like, nah, this is not for me, right? And I had the interest in technology, so I pursued it, started learning. And so when it's going, I was thinking, I think it would be nice to be able to use tech to solve healthcare problems. And so that's where I was able to try to combine tech and look for a healthcare problem that a lot of people face, then try to solve it with tech. So I sort of start off a business. So that's basically how I shifted. That was where the shift came from.
Thank you very much, Joseph. So yours is more of a self-discovery stuff. You noticed, you observed, though, while still in school, that pharmacology may not be for you, and you opted to do something you are more interested in. I mean, that's equally fine. So Gabriel, please move on to the next question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all the panelists. For the next question, I would love to know if Isaac is in a better place because he would be preferring answers to the question. The next question is, what are the current job expectations or opportunities in the pharmaceutical industry for a pharmacologist? By virtue of Isaac being in the pharmaceutical industry, I would love for him to give us an insight as to what the opportunities and expectations are. Mr. Isaac, please, over to you. Are you in a better position now to give us a rundown?
Can you guys hear me?
It's neither here or there. Could it be better?
Okay, is it better now?
I'll do that.
I think what we can do is maybe we move to the next question, or let Omolade chip in while Isaac settles down. You know, Omolade, I just is here with us. She's equally in the pharma industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Omolade Bolaji, please just give us a brief intro so everyone understands, gets to know you a little, then go into the question. What are the current job expectations of opportunities in the pharmaceutical industry for a pharmacologist? Thank you.
Lade, you are still on mute.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, guys. Once again, everybody. Sorry, I didn't know I was on mute. My apologies for that. So I was saying that my name is Omolade Bolaji, and I am currently a sales associate at Pharma. And it's nice to be here. Kudos to the hosts for setting this up. Like, this is much needed at this time. Yeah, just going straight into the question. And I've been listening in. Sorry, I've been going out in and out of meetings. I'm so sorry. So I just had the opportunity of listening to the last speaker that talked about opportunities. So you asked the question that what are the career expectations, right? And opportunities in the pharma industry. I feel the first thing is to show up.
Expectations and opportunities, yes.
Yeah, I think the first thing is to show up, be there. Like if you're not there, the opportunities or expectations will not come to meet you in your room or wherever you are. So I feel the first thing is to show up and be confident about yourself and be sure to yourself or tell yourself that you're going to get the job. So it's a very competitive industry. You're competing with pharmacists. You're competing with the guys that feel that, yeah, they are the rulers and shakers of the pharmaceutical industries. And you have to like show that you can, you're competitive enough, your competitive abilities. So the career expectations, the expectations of a pharmacologist for a pharmaceutical industry is could be divided into two. I think we know our soft skills and our hard skills.
Oh, Lade, sorry to interrupt you. There's a lot of background noise at your place.
I'm so sorry. I'm just going to be brief then. I don't know if Isaac is available now to speak. Okay, is it better now?
Okay. I think so, yeah.
I think we could weed through the noise. If you could to the meat of the matter, just give us some opportunities.
Yeah, so what are people like you doing in the pharma industry?
Yeah, so I was saying, okay, so the opportunities that are available for a pharmacologist would be to start from the level of a sales or medical sales rep. So I feel it is very suitable for a pharmacology at this point, pharmacologist at this point, a graduate pharmacologist, in terms of the fact that you can actually see a little bit of what you studied in school. You can actually practice a little bit of what you studied in school. Because that was my own idea of joining a pharmaceutical company. Like, okay, I can actually practice a bit of what I studied in school. I don't know if it's better now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me perfectly, Gabriel? Okay, great. So that, and so the first career choice, like I said, is sales. So sales is very much available for a pharmacologist. You have to just compete with your fellow colleagues in the labor market, which are pharmacists and pharmacologists alike, that are also vying for that position, because many pharmaceutical companies don't take a lot of, they don't have a lot of vacancies open. They don't have a lot of space. They'll just say, okay, everybody come in and come and write a test of like 100 people. No, it's when somebody resigns that there is an opportunity. So for you to take on those opportunities, you have to really network. You have to work on networking skills, because for myself, I don't know about others. The reason why I got into so many positions or so many opportunities, some I got, some I didn't get, is because of people around me that I was able to talk to. So I feel we should not just stay boxed into our own shells. If you really want to start a career in the pharma industry, you shouldn't box yourself, and you should be ready to speak and talk, as well as sharpening your skills. So the skills they're always looking out for is confidence, talk. They want to see that, okay, you can sell this product to this person. And as a pharmacologist, those products are pharma products, and should be able to sell those features and benefits to customers or clients alike. So I don't know how well we can pick 1 or 2 points from what I said, and it's broader than how I'm saying it. I'm just trying to summarize.
Yeah. You're doing wonderful. Just to keep it in the box. The first thing you pointed out was sales. Yeah, that is very important. So sales as a pharmacologist, highlight another. Just highlight which are.
Okay, another one would be products. That's marketing. So there are different arms in pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, we can look into marketing as well. Some companies take up young graduates that are interested in marketing, and also apart from sales and marketing, you can also join leadership programs at pharmaceutical industries. From some pharmaceutical industries, I think like GSK and Sanofi, they actually schedule these leadership programs that they don't expect you to know anything per se. They just bring you on board and try to train you to see if it's even something you want. Do you understand? So, and those leadership programs, they don't just box you, they span across a lot of things. So please look out for leadership programs, and they are paid. They are definitely paid leadership programs. They are not going to not pay you. So they should look out for that too, even if they are not sure, because there's this unsurety that goes on graduates' minds. Okay, they're like, okay, which one is sales, which one is marketing? They don't know. So they can actually start with those kinds of programs. So I feel those are some of the opportunities. Now, in my current company, it's not a sole pharmaceutical company. They don't even produce any products. They don't have any pharmaceutical products. So there are a lot of roles that are available. So, for instance, there is a sales role which I am in. There is an onboarding role as well. There is key accounts role. There are so many roles. And once anybody is interested, you should just always look out and research, and you will definitely see a lot of things are available.
Thank you so much.
So I've mentioned about 5 roles now. I don't know if that is 5.
Yes.
I've mentioned sales, I've mentioned marketing, I've mentioned key accounts, I've mentioned onboarding, and you all lots.
Thank you so much. I'm very sure the audience would be applying as we speak. I don't know if Isaac is. Yeah.
No,
thank you.
I think
I don't know.
Let's move into the next question. When Isaac is ready, he's going to let us know. We could just, it's safe to move on to the next question.
Fine. So you can handle the next question.
Yeah. So thank you, Omolade, for that brief summary. I know some other guys who are doing other things which are equally relevant in the pharma industry. And you've actually pointed some roles that I didn't even know about until now. So that's good. But again, we will still allow Isaac to share his own ideas as well, because I feel this is like the crux of this issue. We have some other people who are still interested, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry, and I think there are still some other obvious roles which Lade hasn't pointed out. So just to move on to the next question, we know there will be some people that are interested in research and development. to just address that, we'll be asking Mr. Emmanuel to quickly share with us the graduate study options that are open to a BSc Pharmacology degree holder.
Thank you, Aziz. So before I want to know where your question is going to. Should I look at it based on Nigeria setting, or I should just look at it across board?
I think it's safe to look at it internationally, yeah?
Okay.
Because research and development is global.
Exactly. So you see, my answer will be based on, I've forgotten her name, the other speaker answer, right? So it's just because the way Nigeria is, right, that most of our pharmaceutical companies are not producing their own drug. You see what she said? She said they are not producing any product. I'm saying in Nigeria, they may have international companies that produce it. Because if you look at pharmacology is just beyond sales. I'm not saying a pharmacologist can be a medical sales rep, but there's a lot of stuff pharmacologists do. Clinically, research and development, CMS, there are a lot of stuff that pharmacology can do, but just because of the way Nigeria is, we don't really produce drug. So we just see pharmacology as, oh, we are doing medical rep. So for me, for example, now I'm doing my PhD in pharmacology and in science. But for me, I'm not looking at being in the academia. I'm looking at being in a pharmaceutical company. That's my main target. Not being in the academia and being in a pharmaceutical company. But what opportunities that you'll be looking for as a grad student internationally as a pharmacologist is basically research and development, as Aziz have said it. Even you can do clinical trials, preclinical trials. You need pharmacologists too in those kind of places. CMC, quality control assurance. These are other opportunities that pharmacology can do. So we should see pharmacology beyond just the shore of Nigeria, medical sales rep, medical liaison. There's more to pharmacology than what we see. You just have to check for other opportunities. That's what I'll say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. And just to add to that, I think the way I'm looking at it again is when you're going for graduate study, you don't want to think the only option available to you is a MSc Pharmacology or a PhD Pharmacology. As he has mentioned that there are some other relevant roles a pharmacology could venture into in the pharmaceutical industry. Some of these roles perhaps will have specialist degree programs you might need to take. So for example, if there's an MSc Clinical Research and there's an MSc Pharmacology, even though the industry will take you in with both, but why don't you just go for the clinical research when you know that's what you want for yourself? So there's clinical research, there's biomedical sciences, there's pharmaceutical sciences, there's genetics, there's biochemistry, anything in the biomedical field, you are actually qualified to go into this program. So I'll just leave the floor for Gabriel to first take the next question.
Okay, this next question is an interesting one. And the question goes as such: what are the challenges you faced while job hunting? Please, would love the panelists to give insight. What are the challenges you faced while job hunting, and how did you deal with them? I would have loved to go with Isaac, but he's quite busy now. So I'll go with Khalid. Khalid, please open the floor on this question.
Yeah, I faced a lot of challenges while job hunting then. But I'll just highlight a couple of challenges I believe, if sorted, you'll be able to at least be in have a cleared space to at least land the job that you want. So after school, of course, I was very uncertain, and I just needed to, or I felt then was I needed to get a job at least to be able to just clear my head. At least let me look at the competitive power of my pharmac degree. So when I applied for jobs, I think the first thing was the many rejections that came with it. The many rejections that came with it. So if you are open to, say, diversify from pharmacology and you are interested in other fields and you send your CV, for instance, to either join them as a trainee or intern, because that's where you start from usually, you get a lot of rejections. You get a lot of rejections to the point where you start doubting even your own self. So how I dealt with rejections there was I realized, oh, I'm the one that's trying to get into this field here. And it would make sense if I'm just very, very determined. And I don't take the rejections as something that is personal. I don't take it personal. And I just tried my best to ensure per rejection I get, it drove me to like apply more and all till I eventually got a job then. And even the job then that I got and currently, they're like two different things entirely. Because someone mentioned here about seeing opportunities in interruption. So that's what happened after getting that job. Saw an opportunity, took that opportunity, and that's how I got into the creative industry there. And the second challenge I faced was lack of skills. So the way pharmacology is in school right now, it equips you for the pharmaceutical field there. You're taught about drugs, taught about a lot of things, but additional skills like say digital skills or sales skills or marketing skills or skills that will be, I don't think I'm covering everything, but skills that will be very, very important in say other fields you want to diversify into, or if you're looking to break into other fields, those skills, it's really not, we're really not equipped for that. So we're equipped for just drugs. Yes, you just go and do this. When you get out of school, you go and get something doing that's related to drugs. And if you are in the course perhaps and you get frustrated or you are no more interested, for instance, by the time you are out, you're not equipped with those very basic skills that the job market for today requires. You're not equipped for that. Then I think this last one will be for the last challenge I faced, or not even the last, so just the first set of challenge I had that made me just to an extent just put my mind off the pharmaceutical field. That was because of the fact that we're fighting a lot with pharmacists for most of the positions that were around, or most of the positions that pharmacologists found desirable, where is either we are vying with the pharmacist for it, or it's not in any way, or it doesn't in any way make sense. So how did I deal with that? Well, I just faced another field entirely. I just moved away. Like I just felt I decided to just jump ship. That's just what I did. I decided to just jump ship and found a field that I could start off with, and that was it.
I mean, you are doing well, Khalid. You are being paid a lot. Nobody will question you why you are jumping ship. Let's move on to the next Faye.
Yeah, thank you. The next person, just to give a few words on this, is also Faye. Faye, please, could you highlight some of your challenges that you faced and how you deal with them, just in a nutshell?
Okay. And I had a lot of challenges when I left school. First of all, I was confused, like I assumed everybody would be. What next? What should I do next? Am I getting a master's degree? What am I doing next? So I think I decided early on I wanted to get into tech. So I didn't want to go through any coding program for some reason. I don't know. I think that will have helped me much more to get a job earlier than I eventually did. But I was learning on my own. I had to go through this stuff on my own, man. And there were a lot of rejections along the way, tons and tons of rejections, because you needed someone to take a chance with you, basically. You don't have the experience you need. You don't have the skills. You just need someone to take a chance with you and just say, okay, let's try this guy. Let's see what he can do. So along the way, there were lots of rejections. I just stuck with it. And at the back of my mind, I just had that mindset that I needed just 1 year. I need just 1 year. I might get a lot of rejections, but I need just 1 year. And when that 1 year came, it was worth it. I think I worked at a job that I really did not like for like over a year. I worked at that job, but at the back, while working at the job, I had a lot of free time with me. That's why I stuck with the job. I had a lot of free time. So while I was doing that job, I could work on myself, take courses to build up skills and level up. And eventually I got my yes, and I just had that grit and dedication, and paid off eventually for me.
Thank you very much. That's really, really important that we note that. Moving on, Aziz, you would have the next question, please.
Don't we have Isaac here with us yet?
He hasn't signified that he's in a good position to speak, has he?
That's a shame.
Yeah, because these questions, are very vital to hear his opinion.
Okay, he just said 5 minutes. But Lade, can you help us? Yeah, he said with 5 minutes. But Lade, can you help us? Can you give some details on how you dealt with the challenges you faced while job hunting? If you're there. I suppose she's not around at the moment. We'll just move on to the next question. Okay. Again, back to Mr. Emmanuel. Does graduate study have to be abroad though?
No. But I'll be sincere with everyone, right? I want to give my sincere answer. It doesn't have to be abroad. There are people that probably did their master's, PhD in Nigeria. They are good schools but the thing is, if I want to be sincere with my answer, there are a lot of research that we do in Nigeria, right? That is still, how will I put it? It's not outdated, but there's things we do like we are lacking behind, something like that. And it's not only Nigeria. Most of developing countries is like that, right? So we are lacking behind. So even if you do your postgraduate study in, for example, University of Lagos, master's or PhD, you can decide to do your postdoctoral degree after your PhD you can do 1 year postdoctoral degree in Canada, in the US, in anybody's lab to acquire those skills and come back to Nigeria. It's left to you. So it's not compulsory that you go abroad to study. You can do your PhD, masters in Nigeria, just go for training abroad. I think Aziz even did something like that after your bachelor's, that you went to a lab to study something and come back. Yeah. So you can get those skills and come back. So it's not like you must study abroad. It's not like that. So,
and to add to that, I think there's actually there's someone from University of Lagos actually that is currently on his postdoc. He had his master's, his PhD in the department, BSc up to PhD in the Department of Pharmacology, University of Lagos. And he came over here to do his postdoc. In fact, there's another person again that is in the UK to add. There's this program offered by Commonwealth, they call it Split Site Scholarship, where you could do part of your PhD in Nigeria and do the remaining for outside the country. So that could solve for the equipment that are not available during your thesis. That could solve for that. So there's all these opportunities, and that's why I mentioned earlier that research and development is global. Once you identify that you want to be in the research line, it's just research you want to do. Either any opportunity you see, take it. If it is abroad, take it. If it is Nigeria, take it. There will always be an opportunity to further elsewhere where there's more resources, to put it that way. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for that. It's safe to start calling you Dr. Emmanuel since you'll be rounding up in just
Sorry, I'm not rounding up yet, though, Aziz. I'm still my third year.
Okay. Sorry for confusion. I learned Mr. Isaac is ready for us. So can you help us highlight some of the challenges you experienced while job hunting and how you overcome them? We'd like to stick to time, please. 2 minutes.
Okay. Can you guys hear me clearly now?
Yeah, very clear. Thanks.
Oh, okay. So I think one of the things about searching for jobs, what I found out was that there have been talks concerning how we are competing for jobs with pharmacists and all that and all that. My experience with pharmacists also taught me that they are also how would I say it now? They don't desire those jobs themselves. It's not as if it's a one size fits all thing. So they also had to fight and look for those jobs. But it's about building a form of capital. What I did was that I found out people, I talked to people, I talked to my competition to see how they thought, how they think. So I've worked my way around that competition, and I built connections. Somebody mentioned building connections, so I also had new people who were in the industry. I talked to people when we were in camp, for example, there were reps that came from pharmaceutical companies. So I asked them, how did you get this job? Who did you talk to? Who did you do this, did that? So from there, I was able to gather up numbers and talk to people. So there's that thing called cold calling. So cold calling kind of helped me just introduce myself to people in less, should I call it, less formal settings where you can't necessarily walk into a company and just talk to the CEO, but there are scenarios where there'll be a meeting point. So where those scenarios happen, like conferences, like show seminars and all those stuff, you would just quickly break the barrier and talk to them. Oh, this is so this is what I do and this is what I intend to do. So I built those social capital I had for me, and so that helped me in a way. So I was able to link up with people. So I didn't have any troubles changing companies and all that. So I think it's one thing that people should do. Try to build connections with people, build networks with people, and it would help a whole lot in your job search. And one thing about job search is this: if you are really in search for a job, there was somebody who posted an article on LinkedIn one day, said if you want a job, you should be sending at least was it 10 or 20 applications every day. So you should send enough applications. That's the intensity at which you must go, because even for that pharmacist, it's also not easy. It's why a lot of them opt for locum or look for that extra thing that they can do by the side. And persistence is basically it. Persistence works, that pushes you for most, basically it. Persistence helps you a lot to overcome. You get a lot of those rejection mails and all that, but you cannot let that define you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac. But just to fall back to your previous question, where we asked what are the current job expectations in the pharma industry, and to give some perspective, Nadia has actually helped us with some of these roles: sales, marketing. We have leadership roles that are offered by some of these pharma giants. So can you please help us with some other roles? I have learned of people doing procurement. We have they do your procurement. I've heard of things around logistics. Can you share some of the ones you know about too, more briefly?
I think it's still within those rules. But the thing about those rules is that, in school, you are not taught how to sell anything. You are not taught even procurement. We are not taught procurement or supply chain, all this stuff. And these are what I call essential soft skills, because it helps you fit into any industry, actually. Essential soft skills that help you. So the first thing is that you define what you want. You know yourself. For someone like me, I had this entrepreneurial mindset, and I could get to meet with people easily. So I weighed my options, and I saw that okay, the sales and marketing industry is a place where I could fine tune my skills, because I had no issues meeting people, talking to people concerning things. So that helps. There's a field of research. We thank God that a company like 54 Gene, for example, is coming up, and where a lot of companies like that are coming up, and even the field of software. I remember when in final year, the idea of software in the field of medicine was more of a concept than a reality. When we're talking about bioinformatics, its application in stereochemistry and all that. And with the pandemic that happened and the advance in technology that was used to develop the vaccine, and that is a field that is becoming more and more crucial. So especially for those that are tech inclined, it would help them a long way if they begin to build their software skills, especially in that area, their software skills, their data analysis skills. Because now what we have now is that we have companies that, even though you can say, okay, this is a pharmaceutical company, this is an FCMG company, there are roles in there that are generalistic, that are not, how do I say it now, that are not, that that is not restricted to that company. So you have a situation where somebody is into supply chain, and a lot of companies across many kinds of industries need a supply chain, procurement, finance, those things. So what we even find now is that we find a situation where even those, back when we were in school, there was a bit of self-esteem issue. You had people that were studying professional courses. So there was this idea that there was a guaranteed job waiting for them once they got their license and all that. But what I found out is that it's not exactly the case. Yes, there may be some level of truth to it, but it's not exactly the case because, for example, medicine, those who studied medicine, a medical doctor, there are doctors that earn 100K, 120K, there are doctors that earn 500K. The difference is the soft skills they have. So it is those soft skills that we regard. Okay, I saw a question just now. Let me quickly answer that. I think my time is running out. Okay, well, software skills. I think Omolade works for an agency to do this skill show. I can't remember now. Or skill, where they train people on software. It's software skills. Data analysis is very.
Yeah, skills camp.
Skills camp. Thank you very, very much. So data analysis is very, very essential part of like all those soft skill camps. So when you have these strikes, for example, it was one of the few regrets I had in school was that during these strikes and I didn't learn any of those skills. That would help you in any way because companies are now being innovative. So if you have a medical background and a software skill to back it, or you've done a bit of business analysis, data analysis, or something like that, it helps it boost your chances. And let me pause here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Isaac. We're not doing well with time, and I apologize on everyone's behalf for that. What I understand again is the pharmaceutical industry, even in Nigeria, is evolving, and there are many roles that are equally emerging at the same time, and you just have to position yourself to get into these roles. As I said, I learned there are clinical research roles as well. There are clinical research associate roles, clinical trial assistant roles. I think what everyone should make it a point of duty to do is at every point in time, try and just do like a random Google search to know new companies that are emerging. I'm very sure many people didn't know 54 Gene existed. There are some other clinic research and so many other biotech companies that are actually emerging in Nigeria. So perhaps initially when we graduated, the focus was everything was good about the pharmaceutical industry was happening outside the country. But I think that is changing little by little. Thanks to some of our alumni from the department, they are coming back on to set up stuff that you could actually align towards that direction. But I will leave the floor for Gabriel to ask the next question.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question goes, do you deal with graduation anxiety? And to answer this would be Joshua. The first panelist to answer would be Joshua, please. How did you deal with graduation anxiety?
Okay, thank you very much. Graduation anxiety. Okay, Having a plan and a set goal for your life is very, very important. You see, for most of us, when we are still in school, we have this routine lifestyle. You want to go to class, you want to read, you want to write this. And we're not giving ourselves any opportunity to really see that, okay, immediately I finish school, what can I venture into? Or what can I do to actually sustain me? Why I search for the desired job I want? That is actually very key. We must always have a plan B. When I finished survey, I'm in school, the next thing that was on my mind was to go to service. And when you're doing NYC, if you're not lucky enough to be in a good place where you are getting something or you can plan your life there, you will be demoralized. Just imagine a pharmacologist that is being posted to a school to teach, like a primary school during NYC, and you are in one village, you don't even have network, you don't have anything to plan your life with, and you're just struggling. And as NYC is coming to an end, you are facing a world of where there is no anything set for you. So what I do is I take a day at a time, I look for opportunities around me, and I don't get bothered about, am I going to get a job or not? I position myself to succeed, irrespective of what the labor market is giving me. So that was why immediately I finished service, I began to volunteer. And mind you, I volunteered for free in the facility I worked. So I volunteered for like 16 months. So you want to ask me, how was I surviving during those months? I have a plan B. So I kept doing some little things that will keep soul and body alive. Why I position myself for that job I'm actually looking for. So don't allow the things around or your goal. Sometimes your goal could be a distraction because we just set some goals that are not realistic at a time. So you must be smart about your goal and understand that there is a period between planning and actualization of your goal. There is a time. So that time is very key. It's a waiting time. So don't waste it and don't allow things to weigh you down. Seek for little things that you can do to sustain you while you build your skill to do well in the career you're actually pursuing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the excellent response. I think, Gabriel, am I next or you're next?
You are next.
Okay. Okay. We'll be moving back to Mr. Larry. I wanted to just have an idea of, did you actually get, okay, I think you mentioned earlier that you got some alumni connections. But again, I would like to know how instrumental were these alumni connections or engagements to your final career decision? And is this something you would recommend for our audience? And again, I would like you to just add to it. So how can they actually go on to move on up to an alumni to establish a connection that can lead to something tangible?
Okay, thanks, Aziz. I'll start from your the last part of your question. So this platform we have now is like a typical example. Like this is where someone can just connect with anybody. Like it's an opportunity for people to connect with some of the alumni we have here. So aside from this platform, of course, right from school, these people I said were pivotal in making my decision. I had known them right from school. I think I had known them, of course, we moved to College of Medicine in 200 level. So I had known both of them since 200 level. One of them was in 300, the other one was in 400. So like I kind of built that connection even with people you would see as my seniors. And I think it boils down to one of the things Isaac and Lade had mentioned before. It's networking. Like you just don't know where you would need someone in future. So always try to kind of um, meet people, connect with people. Because when I got this opportunity, in fact, when I applied, I basically didn't know what they were doing. I only applied because I was applying for a friend. And when I read the job description, I saw that they were going to take anybody with minimum of second class upper, no matter the course, be it Yoruba or medicine or anything. So I just decided to apply as well. I was still into like 4 months into my NYC then. I decided to apply, and then they called me for tests to come and write assessments, GMAT based. I don't know, one way or the other, I was equipped for GMAT test at that time, probably through study of different things, applying for scholarships, applying for masters. So many times I was just exposed to different kind of aptitude tests at that time. So I was able to pass, luckily for me. It was at that stage of passing, and I took it serious. Then it was on LinkedIn, I even found out Israel, that was one of the seniors I was talking about, was in KPMG then. So I reached out to him that, oh, I have this KPMG opportunity, and oh, I don't know what they do. You should brief me on it. So he was the one that gave me a rundown. In fact, he practically walked me through my interview, because when I told him it was time for my interview, he explained all the things I should know, which sounded so strange to me then, things relating to accounting and all. Who am I? Pharmacology graduate. So he kind of coached me, like, and it was really helpful when I got to the interview. When I was saying some things that I even had no idea what they were, the panel was impressed and all. They were asking me if I had any audit experience before. I said no, it's just based on research. So I think that was one very important thing networking did for me. If I didn't know someone who had, like if I was not close to people like that, someone who had that kind of experience, I'm not sure there's any way I could have aced the interview process.
Thank you very much, Larry, for the brief answer. And I think what we just got from it is identifying someone who is currently doing what you want to do. I don't think anything we want to do in this life is new to anyone. Someone must have done it before. So rather than reinventing the wheel, just identify someone who has done this. LinkedIn is a good place. Search. They don't have to be people you know directly, but just establish good connection with them. I don't want to say loyal, but establish connection, maintain this connection, this relationship, and get what you want while you're also being useful to the network as well. Thank you very much. Gabriel, please, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, Larry. For the next question, it's directed to Mr. Emmanuel. Should one go for a direct PhD or for a master's degree for those that want to further their education, broaden their knowledge, especially with research?
So it boils back to, what do you want? Actually, what do you want? Like, what's your end goal? That is really what can answer if you want to get a master's first or a PhD, because some people want to like have a feel of the master's and then think of going into the industry first, and maybe if they are saying, oh, I still want to further my education, and they come back for PhD. Why some people already know what they want, like, hey, I want to go for like a PhD. So like, in Nigeria, the way the system is bachelor's, master's, then PhD. But in most like countries, European countries, abroad, like you don't necessarily need to have a master's to apply for a PhD program. With your bachelor's degree, if you're like your GPA is good enough, you can actually apply for a direct PhD, direct, without having a master's. But you can also decide, I want to have a feel of it, apply for a master's, then decide I want to do a PhD. So another thing I'll say is, this is what I want you guys to know, like, it's not compulsory you do a PhD in pharmacology or neuroscience. That's another thing. So the way I see like the few experience I have is, they just want to know, most of the grad schools, they just want to know if you are trainable. I have people in my program that they did psychology and they are doing a PhD in pharmacology. So think about it, psychology, and he's doing a PhD in pharmacology, and they are really doing well. I have people that they did bachelors in chemistry and they are doing a PhD in pharmacology. Like, how did those two tally, right? But that's just the thing. They just want to know you're trainable. So it's not compulsory that because I did my bachelor's in pharmacology, I must do my master's or PhD in pharmacology. Just look around. What do you want? Google is your friend. Just Google, just check stuff. You learn from it. That's what I'll say.
Thank you very much. So I think for the questioner on the chat asking if you can do a PhD directly, the simple answer is yes, you could actually do a direct PhD from what our panelist has said. So to the next question, I'll be starting with Fei, who is in the tech industry. So can you highlight is just list 3 basic skills like or requirements for someone who wants to venture, who is thinking pharmac may not be for me, or I want to be in the pharma industry, but I want to do something tech related in the pharma industry. Could you please highlight some requirements for them to get started or increase their chances of getting in? You are muted.
I'm so sorry. But you really don't need much. What you just need is a willingness to learn. You need that curiosity that will drive you. You need to be able to motivate yourself when no one else motivates you. You need to just keep your head up and be able to grind for as long as it will take. I curated a list of resources that will be helpful to people who want to get started. So I'll share that in the chat.
Thank you very much.
That can get anybody started.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, basically. So I think summarize it. Thank you.
Willingness to learn and, of course, being available, as you said. So I would like to move on to Aya. For someone who is interested in entrepreneurship, who wants to have their own product, I mean, how should they get started? What helped you? 3 requirements.
Okay, so I would say
I just saw that Fei has shared the resources. Please feel free to up on that. Please. Go on now, Joseph. Sorry.
Okay, so like Fei said, the first thing, so it depends on what kind of industry you're going to work at. On a general sense, I think the person is willingness to learn. You should be able to learn and learn fast, right? Then to have people skills. So if you're working in any industry, you will need to network with people. Right? There are relevant people there that will help you, mentors and stuff. So you need that. And also try to be observant and creative, basically, right? To be able to identify problems and trends and see how you can pair two different things that might not be necessarily related, pair together to create something new. So that's basically it's trying to summarize, right? That's it.
Well, I mean, I think I thought we would start with like, okay, you said it actually, like knowing what you want to do. That means you have to have an idea. That's what I would believe an entrepreneurship wants. You want to first have an idea. You have conceived an idea before you can now like develop the idea, incubate it, before you can accelerate. Thanks very much, Aya. I would appreciate if you could actually have like some list of, is it perhaps training programs, accelerator programs, or incubator programs, or which people can actually gain clarity of whatever idea they have. If you can help us with start creating that kind of resource for us rather. Thanks. Imam, they're in the creative industry. Please highlight some basic requirements for someone to get started.
Okay, I think first of all, you have to be teachable, for someone that is transitioning from a field that is unrelated to the field you're aspiring to join. The first thing you have to just be, the first skill you need to just learn is how to be teachable, how to start from the scratch and be able to make mistakes and not hold yourself to how do I put it now? Don't make the first set of mistakes you make while learning. Don't make it like the benchmark mark for whatever goal you are setting up for that particular industry. So be teachable. And the next thing is as much as creativity comes as talent for some, you can actually learn. You can actually learn. So you can learn by resources or by watching videos or by getting a mentor, or by or talking with your fellow colleagues or talking with somebody that you are you're at the same skill level, building up together. These are things that work. These are things that work for a person that wants to pursue something far in the creative industry. So yeah, I think that answers it.
I think to add to what Khalid said, something good about the creative industry is that you could actually accept jobs from anywhere in the world. Just yesterday, I noticed some freelancing jobs in the US here. I saw things around pharmaceutical editors, and these are jobs they will just give you. They don't care where you're coming from. So it's just to equip yourself with the skills you mentioned. We'll move on to Mr. Joshua. Please let us know some of these requirements. So I think in NGO is very interesting. So we'd like to know how should our graduates prepare for themselves for entering the NGO sector.
Thank you very much. Like rightly said, the NGO field is a very interesting one. And the beauty about it is, irrespective of what you study, you can fit in. All you just need is the technical knowledge. Now, when I mean the technical knowledge is, why there is space for you to build your career and to develop yourself on the job, there must be a minimal knowledge or skill that you must possess to scale through. And most of these are not being taught in school. That is why volunteering is actually a very good way to start in the NGO field. Aziz can attest to this. A lot of us that are in the field today, we started by volunteering. So that will help you to get the necessary skill to kickstart. Aside from that, you must be creative and innovative. Things that make you stand out is your ability to identify a problem and provide a solution to it. You must pay attention to detail and also understand the peculiarity of the environment you are working with. So a problem-solving skill, you are innovative, and the technical knowledge is actually very, very essential. So you can get all this by volunteering and developing yourself personally. So there are some places you can just go to. There is this council of supply chain management professionals. You can just create an account as a student, is free. You get a mentor and you begin to follow them. You learn some things. Either if you want to go into the line of supply chain management, and even on LinkedIn and other sites, you can get materials. People that want to focus in data analysis, that is monitoring and supervising, that is the M&A. If you want to go into program management, you want to go to implementation science, there are a lot of courses you can take online. Some are free and some are extremely very cheap. Something like 20,000, 50,000, you're able to take some of these courses. So you must position yourself to succeed. The field is very, very, very competitive. But once you have the required skill, there is no discrimination. You will definitely land the job.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. And I'll be expecting, because one of the questions along the line is for you to help us a created list of resources that they could actually that will be useful for our audience. And I know, again, as you said, WHO, this is if you're interested in perhaps because international development is a broad field on its own. We have people doing things around health. We have people doing things around hunger prevention. We have people doing things around so many different things, housing and the like. So I'm guessing maybe someone in pharmacology wants to go into health. So WHO, UNICEF, and even JHPI Go and Co will have, some of them used to have a course section on their website that you can begin to take these certificate courses and just equip yourself with the necessary skills you need. I think the crux of everything is don't be rigid. Open your mind to opportunities. And I think we have what the other panelists haven't shared the resources in their industry. Isaac and Ladi actually have shared basic requirements, but I think Isaac, can you help us again, just a brief highlight of the basic requirement for someone to get started there in the pharma industry. Okay, I think Isaac is not available at the moment. Larry, for someone that wants to enter KPMG and the likes and the big fours, banking and the likes, what should they get started with?
So I think if you are determined that that's an industry you want to transition to, one of the key things you might want to have is to get a professional qualification, which would show on your CV that at least you have the theoretical knowledge relating to things like finance and accounting. And the easiest way to go about that is to like register for ICANN and take the ICANN exams, which will lead you to become a chartered accountant. It will expose you to many things relating to accounts, finance, business, and all. And it will be a good thing. It will be a good thing on your CV, even when you are not done. Like once you get started and it's on your CV, say I can first level, second level, or third level, whichever one you are currently at, it will kind of pivot you into such field. And of course, having qualification again is not just enough. The soft skills that you require for anything, not just for finance and accounting, like interacting properly with people, which is a very, very top thing to be able to do. So I think that's basically it. Theoretical knowledge is the professional qualification. ICANN is to say, but ICANN is kind of very cheap. So, and it doesn't diminish the quality. It's just because it is like a Nigerian program. So it doesn't diminish the quality because it is cheap, doesn't diminish the quality. It's something you can do. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Larry. And but just to re-emphasize, it's not like if you don't have ICANN and the likes, you can't get into this industry. I think they always give this window of 1 or 2 years to
no,
or something.
So I only said that, say, for someone who has already like made up their mind completely that that's what they want to do. It will just give you like will I say a head start, or like just put you at a more advantageous position. I did not have anything related to ICANN or ACCA when I resumed at KPMG. So
just to be sure, yeah. And again, I think another thing that is important is even in these companies, they have opportunities around pharma consulting. So you don't think you can't do anything pharma related. I think Larry can help us mention one or two things around that.
Yes. So when you are into auditing, for example, you audit different companies, and you get to audit FMCGs, you get to audit schools, you get to audit banks, you get to audit ENR, that's energy and natural resources, that's oil companies, like different industries. So you are not just restricted to, of course, you are doing accounting, but like you're exposed to different organizations where you even get to learn different things about different organizations, from real estate, from tech companies to banking industries, pharmaceuticals. Like you are really exposed to a lot of things.
Thank you very much, Larry. So quickly, we'll just move on to Mr. Emmanuel. For someone interested in graduate study, what should they have? Basic requirements. Some people think around personal statements. There are a lot of these things. Let's know some of these things, please.
Okay, generally, one is your every school have its own requirements. Google is your friend. Always like Google schools. Every school they have their requirements. So one, personal statements. But the most important thing I will tell you is, even although everybody have already graduated though from their pharmacology, you can get as like be involved in something while applying, something in Nigeria, like while applying, just involved maybe in research or something. Those are the things that can help you when like applying. So it can kind of boost your application. That's like generally those are the things I think you should have. But Google is your friend. Just Google it. You see like the requirements easy.
Mr. Iman, I think what they want to hear actually is these are personal statements. I think the basic one that all schools will actually ask for their transcript. Maybe they should get ready their transcript already.
Oh, I should like tell them.
Yeah, please help us this. We need that clarity. Please.
Okay. So number one, your transcript for sure. So what I did was, before applying, right, I already kind of applied for my transcript, like immediately I was graduating, because I already know like I might be trying to like apply to other places. So transcript is number one. Number two is your personal statements. Try and like you can Google to look at like people that have written, like there are a lot of SOPs online. You check it. I'm not saying copy and paste. Use it to build your own like SOPs, and you can also give it to like other people, like for them to proofread for you. Like, hey, is this good enough to apply for school? That's another thing. Another thing I would say is networking, very important. You can go to this website, look at the professors that you kind of like their research. They are not like, just email them. They are going to reply you. Hey, I like your research. Tell them what you do. If the professor is really interested, you can get like connection from that. So those are like the things I would say. What else again? Aziz can help me. I don't know. It's been a long time I've done application.
True. Thank you very much. One other important thing might be as regards the personal statement. As I said, look out for resources on how to learn these programs, like their requirements, and it's very important. Transcript is something that actually fuck people up. Sorry to use that word. So you want to make sure, like as you are graduating, you have a student copy of a transcript at least. And if you can do it, for depending on the country you're going, if you can do a voice evaluation of your transcript early on as well, it will be helpful, so that when you need to use it, you can just ask Wes to send it directly, as opposed to going back to school and taking 2 months and losing out on your scholarship or your admission. So personal statement, transcripts, certificates, you can only submit that when you get to the school. Recommendation letters. So if you don't have lecturers that you've been, that could answer you on just a phone call, you want to start making that connection and start, being loyal to them as you might have it. You need people to write for you, about 2-3 recommenders. And those are the basic things. We'll perhaps have a dedicated session for people that are interested in graduate study, because I know we can't finish everything in this session. So just to put Nedu on the spot before we move on to our last question, 54 Gene is a big star in Nigeria currently, and we're opportunity to have like at least 2 of our graduates who are currently working in 54 Gene. Sheyi is she's working on something related to data curation also in 54 Gene. But Nedu also works in procurement. Please, I'd just like to put him on the spot now and let him know, let him share with us, like, what are the opportunities you've seen so far? You are working in procurement, yeah? But it's possible there are some other roles you've seen that are equally, pharmacologists are actually, qualified for. So can you give us some insights on how they could get into this, get into your company?
So good afternoon, everybody. I think we have some background noise somewhere. Okay, so I think I won't use more than 5 minutes. I'll try and be brief. So basically, in school, what we learn as a pharmacologist, it's more of clinical application and all. But then in 54 Gene, it's still the same ballgame there, because it's all about research, actually. So in 54 Gene exactly, as a company, as a pharmacologist, there aren't so much opportunities when it comes to actually doing the main research. So where we come in, because in research, there are different aspects of research. It's not just about being in the lab, trying to find the solution to a problem. They also have field research, like the basic levels of research, where you actually have to go out, do your surveys and all. So that's where we come in, because we do final year projects in pharmacology, and it actually goes a long way. We need to actually start taking our data analytics that we have to do for our projects. It's actually very, very important, because it goes a long way. Yeah, because so I started basically in 2018, and I already have over 3 years of working experience. But every job I've done in supply chain had nothing to do with pharmacology. I had to put my head down and learn. I had to make sure I was humble, listen and learn new things. I also had to, currently I'm writing like a supply chain exam, because like Larry said, these things, you need to have professional certifications. For KPMG, you need to have ICANN. Those things are very valid. They're not for everywhere though, but if you want to like grow in these industries, you need to have some form of qualification that would put you out there, that would set you out from the crowd, basically. So those things actually come in very handy. You need to be able to also know that what gets you far in the industry, in this industry, is not about what you know already. It's about the skills you can acquire over time. Skills are very, very important. They are so important. They can get you into any job, basically. Once you have skills that are very valuable, it can get you into anywhere. So it's basically just so majorly opportunities. Let me just finish the question basically. So you have data analytics. You have currently I'm not in procurement. I'm just the supply chain person over there, but I'm currently on logistics. When I was in pharma, I worked in warehouse and distribution. While I was still in pharma, I worked in inventory control and data analytics. That's where I actually got experience with SAPs and ERPs, basically inventory management courses, basically. So if you want to work in a company like 54G, because for my interview, they really didn't have any idea on what I could offer as a pharmacologist. Because all they know basically, anywhere you go, they only recognize pharmacists, to be very honest with you. So you have to make them understand why they should actually pick you. What do you have to offer? What really do you have to offer aside being a pharmacologist? Because for my interview, I basically just said stuff like, okay, I know a lot about data. I know a lot about supply chain. I can set up your SAPs. I can connect your finance to your inventory, to your sales. I can do these things for you. And basically that's what just got me in there. It wasn't because I knew what I was doing or I knew what I was trying to pursue, but just get your skills over time and just shoot your shots everywhere. Keep on shooting, no matter your rejections, you get there eventually. So I think that's all.
Thank you very much, Christian, for that. I mean, what I can pick up from what Nedu has said is you have to even be able to understand, you have to be able to identify what you can do. So for example, if the advert is out and you just breeze straight and feel like, this is not for pharmacologists, like then you've not even actually discovered yourself. That's what I will understand. So it's for you to be able to see a role and say, okay, I can actually do this, and not be thinking like, oh, they didn't teach me this in school. No, it's not about what they taught. It's no longer what they taught you in school. It's about what can you now do? What can you bring to the table? Every employer out there just cares about what you can you actually help them solve their company problems? That's what they really care about. Thanks, Nedu, for that. And I'm sure you'll be happy for people to connect to you for further advice. Mr. Isaac has dropped his own briefs as regards requirements. So I'll just leave the floor for Gabriel to handle the next question, which is around, I think, mindset. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a very key question. The next question is, what should be the mindset of a pharmacology graduate to a market? I'll be going through some panelists to give us an insight. Please, I want it to be as possible. What is your mindset? What mindset does a pharmacology graduate need to excel in the job market today? Please, I'll start with Larry. Larry, could you give us an insight?
Okay. I think one of the most important things is to have the mindset that there's nothing you can't do, and don't let your certificate limit you to some certain
Your background
opportunity.
put you on the ground, sorry. Don't let your background put you on the ground, as they say.
Oh, that. So some people will think because it's pharmacology and when they see opportunities that are not in line with pharmacology, then they just ignore it completely. But there is a big chance that you're able to like acquire the skills probably on the job or quickly by yourself, by self-learning or leveraging on some people you know. and trying to skill up and be able to work in that industry. So don't let in fact, I have a colleague in my workplace who finished from our school as well, CMU. He studied pharmacy. Like, so don't let your degree limit you to what you can do. There are different things you can do. Might not be finance. In fact, we have different people here. We have Joseph, that's Anya, doing something relating to tech. We have we have variety of things that we can do, and it doesn't have to be straight line about pharmacology alone. So I think that's the mindset we should have. Don't let the degree limit you to whatever you can do.
Okay, thank you so much, Larry. Very interesting. Oh, sorry. Next on the a little malfunction there. On the same question, I would love to on Joshua to answer on the same question. What mindset do we need as graduates, as people who finish with college degrees for the job market?
Okay, thank you very much. Larry has said something that's actually very key: believing in yourself. If others can, I can do it also. The sky is wide enough for the birds, everyone to fly without having accident therein. Believe that the first competitor you have in life is yourself. Once you're able to overcome yourself, then every other thing will fall in place. So position yourself in a place to succeed. When you see challenges, take it on. When you fail, try again. You fail, you try again. You can't believe I tell you is that the first job I was to do when the organization was even putting me, they were like, oh, let's try if this guy can do it. The first assignment they gave to me, I made a very critical error that it was the people in the country office that pointed it out, and they have to like, who did this? At that point, you should see, it's as if, oh boy, it's like this, not your calling, no. Like, this one, no even just venture. But I looked at it, I built on it, and I began to develop myself. So just believe that you can do it. When you see opportunities, take it. Try. If you fail, try again. Why trying again? Build up some skills. Get people to be your mentor. Ask questions. It's actually very, very important. The Yoruba people will say that someone that knows how to ask for road will never get lost. Ask questions from people that are ahead of you. If you are confused, meet people that know it. Don't mind, it could even be the pharmacist. Don't say there are days. Sometimes they will post you to work with them, anything you don't know. Don't be say, these people. Ask, learn, begin to build yourself. And over time, you see that you conquer the world and you'll be where you're supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next panelist that I would love to answer the same question is Leo Omolade Bolaji. Omolade, are you acquainted with the question, or do you want me to go over the question?
Yes, please, you can just go over it a bit. What I think is requirements for someone interested in the pharma industry. Is that the question?
No, we've moved past that. The question on ground is, what should be the mindset of a pharmacology graduate to excel in today's job market? Just briefly, just what mindset does a winner have to, possess, such as yourself?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for calling me Arena. So hi everybody once again. So I've been listening on the other panelists, and they've been saying a whole lot that I just wonder what else I need to say. So the mindset just has to be positive. So going into that interview room, talking to that big manager in one company, asking your questions, you just have to be positive that, okay, yeah, something good will come out of this. So I feel such person should have a very positive mindset, that he or she will definitely succeed. And also be very open-minded as well. I've been saying, I don't know if I can overemphasize saying, do not box yourself, do not limit yourself, do not think that you cannot do something. What I'm doing today, 2 years ago or 2 years back, I would not ever think that I would like ever be in this industry or do something that I've done. In time past. So do not limit yourself, because going through the pharmacology degree alone might think is probably a walk in the park, but it's actually not. I've actually been shaped a bit to. We've shaken a bit during school, and for us to go past the 4 years course successfully, we can actually do wonderful things. We can do so much more, actually, in the industry or in the labor market. So I'll just say those things, just like summarize everything that is in my head. And be always prepared, please. Your CVs, your cover letter, try as much as possible to just refresh them, look into it and see what you can add, see what you can, show people, because opportunities can just come by any time. So please just be prepared and have that positive mindset as well as an open mind. Please. So I think that's what I would just add to what the other speakers have said.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Omolade Bolaji. Moving forward, I would also like to ask Isaac to chip in this on this same topic of the mindset.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. One thing, mindset is this. Your mind. You are not inferior. You are enough. If you are called up, you are good enough, irrespective of who you are competing against. I've been in interviews, I've written tests, I've been in stages with people that normally would make me feel inferior, but I've always come out top. So just know that you're enough. That's all I have to say. And the rejection is not a definition of you. It's a definition of their own assessment. That's all I would just say.
Thank you. That's very powerful. I would say rejection is a definition of their own assessment and not a definition of you. To my colleague here, Abdul-Azeez, could you please, chip in on the mindset? And I think the reason why we are going over this and we are allowing panelists to chip in is because mindset is really important. We can all agree that before we can forward, we must have the mindset. And I'm very sure this is one of your area of expertise. So clearly on the mindset of a winner. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. And I think firstly, I would like to just thank all our panelists for remaining with us. We've used more than the planned time, 1 hour, 30 minutes. We are going up to 2 hours already, and everyone is still patient with us. Really appreciate this, and we don't take this for granted. Thanks. So answer the question on mindset, I would just say be curious enough. Curiosity, that's what I'll just base my talk on. And the analogy I will use is for a day-old baby, I guess the baby at some point needs to learn how to walk, crawl first, before you can walk, interact with people around. It's just see yourself as a day-old, that same day-old body, a day-old baby in the job market. Assume you don't know anything. Be ready to unlearn, relearn, and learn new things. And as others people have said, reach out to people. These guys are always there to help. What ties us together already is the fact that we are all pharmacologists first. And some people, I don't think anybody will even go down the lines of you are from Unilag, you are from Delson. I don't think anybody will do that. The fact is that you're a pharmacologist and your success is our success as well. So be curious enough to learn how to write your CV. Be curious to learn how to, is it a graduate study opportunity you want? Be curious to learn how to land that opportunity. Be curious enough to get the job you desire in mind. And as I said, don't be inferior. Don't see yourself as being inferior to anyone. So, and be intentional with with all you do. Be intentional with all you do. And again, try and start getting some clarity of where you want to see yourself in the coming years. It won't be clear completely now. And even for me, it's not clear completely, but at least be sure of your immediate next step and the next step after that. Thank you very much. Gabriel, you have the floor.
Thank you much, Abdul-Azeez. Honestly, I would want to first say thank you to everyone in attendance, the audience, and most especially the panelists. Just to, a lot of people have said a lot of things, and indeed, you can't just summarize everything that everyone has said so quickly, but I just want to chip in one thing. Most times what differentiates a person who wins and a person who loses is the mindset. Other factors inclusive, but why we want to put emphasis on the mindset is because we're very sure forums like this, people would come in and get so inspired and work on it, while some people will come in and rather hear, get inspired, but don't take any step, and they won't achieve much. So it still boils down to you, what you want for yourself. How bad do you want it? How far to achieve whatever you want to achieve? Not to sound like motivational speaker or anything, but I do believe your mindset would distinguish you. Most people here we have all faced rejections. We have all faced failures. Everyone here has failed at one thing or another, failed to meet a cutoff, failed to get the job they want. We have all done that. But what we always distinguish you is getting up, picking yourself up, dusting yourself, being intentional, as Aziz said. Don't feel inferior, as Isaac said. Always getting the right connections, always having the friends or the people or the colleagues needed to propel you forward, and always do enough for yourself. When you go back at night and you're about to hit the bed, know that you have done as much as you can and you would continue to do so tomorrow. So it's just getting to know your reality, know what you want for yourself. Everyone is going to be different. Some people would go out of the country. Some people would stay in the country. Some people would want to do their masters. Some people want to get their jobs. Different with different strokes for different folks. But wherever you find yourself, however you see it, some people might have money to sponsor their masters, some might not even have any money, but they would all go and have that same mastery via sponsorship and different other things. There are a lot of stories that can be told. So not to waste any of our time, just to give a brief summary, we are here not only as organizers and also the panelists to shed some light, to make the path smoother. You would still have to do a lot of work by yourself, but we just want to grease your elbows and make the path a little bit smooth, so that when you are embarking on your journey, when you want to further as a pharmacologist in any life that you want to do, that you do know that there are people that precede you, and they have been able to achieve it. You too can achieve whatever you achieve. Thank you so much. Aziz, I would hand over to you to put some finishing touches.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. And what I would just say is we'll have our second survey now. While we are doing that, I'd like to crave the indulgence of the panelists. Can you entertain questions? You can just respond by you can unmute yourself and respond whether you still have some time to spare to entertain questions. And if not, we can just I think we can round it up here if there are no questions. If you can't entertain questions, rather, but we need to first, we promised 1 hour 30 minutes, we've gone beyond that. So please help us confirm if you can entertain questions from the audience or not. And I'll be launching the end of meeting survey now. Panelists, okay, I think someone is responding already. Okay, Bolaji says she can. Okay, Larry confirmed as well. Isaac, should we go on? Okay, Faye is willing to answer questions. Nedu too, thank you very much. I appreciate this, everyone. I think a good number of the panelists are still willing to spare some time. Please. Guys, you're not answering the survey. Are we sleeping already? I understand it's in the evening in Nigeria, but kindly help us fill the survey. Let's be sure we are communicating. That's the essence of all this. Are we speaking to the air? Like, okay, people are responding now. Thank you very much, everyone that is responding. Thank you very much. I can see your response. I'll leave it for 1 minute or so, just to accumulate more responses. Thank you very much. And also there's a feedback form. Khalid also, I think someone is sharing the feedback form already. Okay, yeah. Okay, Daniel is filling the feedback, is sending the feedback. And I must commend Daniel. Daniel is one of the graduates. And again, please accept, on behalf of all the panelists, accept our congratulations. I learned your convocation is this coming Wednesday. Congratulations. We wish you success in your future endeavors. And may this accolade lead to be a springboard to more successes in life overall. So kindly help us fill the survey form. Let's know how we can help you better. If you have questions, specific questions, or other areas or topic you'd like us to address, you could fill that in the survey form. Please, I need more responses for this end of meeting survey. I only have 19 respondents and we have about 40 people on the chat. Please. So, and please, you can start asking your questions in the chat already. You can, if you have a specific panelist you would like to address your question, kindly kindly mention the person's name. I think, do we still have Mr. Emmanuel with us? Sure, I think he's left. Okay. And then we'll be taking just 5 questions. So if you have specific people you want to ask the questions, you can mention their names in your question too. And I think we should just use the chat so we don't have to struggle with meet yourself and those struggles of internet. One minute more, then I'll close the survey.
Please let us respond to the survey. It's going to help a lot. There's only 12.
If you don't want to fill the one on Zoom, you could just copy the form. You could copy the link on the chat and use that as well.
It will help us a lot to analyze and get good feedback. Thank you.
Okay, 45 seconds to end the Zoom survey. Tolu Olope, please kindly ask your question in the chat. And if you have a specific panelist you'd like to prefer answer to it, indicates the person, please. $20 of 42 respondents. So judging because we have about 15 panelists in total. If that's case, I think a good number of them has responded. I think we just lost some of the audience during attending some of the questions. Oh, this is good. I think just 20 people. That's fine. So let's share the results of the poll. I think Panelists will be happy to see this. Yeah. So 85% of the audience confirmed the program met the expectations. Congratulations to all panelists. Clapping back. And are you clear on your next study steps, on your next steps following your degree? This is quite divided. Some people are still very clear. So equal number of people are clear, some somewhat clear. At least it's good to know we don't have many people still not clear. People that are not clear, please, we are still available to help. Ask questions where you need more clarity. This is your chance to ask those questions. I mean, 90% are confident. That's good. Okay, I think that's all. Gabriel, you can undo the question and answer segments. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So just going to be having about 5 questions. Okay, the first one, I'll read out the question and see which panelists best fits the question to answer if there's a name attached to it. Are there any steps being taken to make pharmacology a professional course? I don't need to refer this to any panel. There is, if you understand deeply the difference between pharmacology and pharma, making it professional won't necessarily change its bearing with respect to its abilities and expectations. I feel that in context to Nigeria, there are a lot of factors that comes to play when it doesn't need to be a professional course. It's a professional course around the world. It's the science course, and has its own niche and its own place in both drug development, research, and what have you. So I think that would take care of the question. The next one: can a graduate in pharmacology go for master's or PhD in medicine? I have little or no idea. I don't know if our PhD candidate is still on the call, or is he out already?
What's the question, please? He's no longer, he has an experiment to attend to, he has left. So what's the question?
Yeah, that's fine. Can a graduate in pharmacology go for master's or PhD in medicine? Very good position to answer.
First of all, I don't think I've come across anything called master's or PhD in medicine. I've never. Medicine is a broad field, yeah. And what you have is even doctors doing an MD, PhD, like a MBBS combined with a PhD, perhaps one of the biomedical sciences field, like pharmacology, genomics, biochemistry, and the likes. So there's nothing as such as a PhD or just in medicine, nothing like that.
Okay.
Perhaps what you might want to ask is biomedical sciences, and which I think is like the safest bet for anyone in pharmacology. If you do a biomedical sciences program, you'll be open to all the fields in the biomedical sciences, including pharmacology. Then you can, after the program, decide for yourself where you actually want to specialize for your PhD. And even if you do a PhD in the US, for example, and they say it's a biomedical science program, you still have that flexibility to choose what you're interested in at the end before you start your PhD project. I think that answers the question.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question. There are some questions I'll just keep by. Can a pharmacologist open a pharmacy? No. Pharmacologists can't open a pharmacy. You need a...
Gabriel, let's an Isaac, for example. Answer. Are you in the field now? Are you in Nigeria?
Well, I don't have a pharmacy, but let's see. I would open it to Isaac. Isaac, can a pharmacologist open a pharmacy?
All are they? Anyone that is still available?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can a pharmacologist open a pharmacy? Well, anyone can open a pharmacy actually, because you just have to have a pharmacist on ground. That's just it. Just have a pharmacy license to license your premise, as they call it. So for a pharmacologist, it's even going to be much more easier for you than someone that is not even someone that does not have any prior knowledge of, I mean, drugs, like pharmacists. I mean, other than pharmacists, rather. So yes, a pharmacologist can open a pharmacy. If you are able to pay a pharmacist for his or her license, yes, you can. It's very free.
I think it's important to add that for you to open a pharmacy, the first thing is you have to have the capital. If you have the capital, why
Yes,
don't you partner
exactly.
with your pharmacist college that you met in school? And you guys can start a venture. I mean, that's what I would do if I was.
Yes, partnership will go a long way so that you don't lose out, so that it will be like a complete partnership and you have sole proprietorship over the business. So if you have a capital, get a pharmacist friend that you can work with and you can move on. Nobody is too small to open a pharmacy. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you very much, Omolade. I would like us to go to the next question, and Joshua would be most suited to answer this question. What are the list of companies one can volunteer in as an undergraduate that could help build me?
Okay, can you hear me? Hello, can you
Yes,
hear
I
me?
can. Yes, I can,
Okay.
please. Thank you.
Okay, so as an undergraduate, I think that is the key word there. As an undergraduate, you have a lot of things to actually handle in school, or with your schoolwork, your classwork, and everything. Having a company, if I'm specific about NGO now, having a company where you want to volunteer, if you know the NGOs and their work time are actually between 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 in most of the NGO and even the local one. So volunteering while you are still an undergraduate, I may not be very, very, very sure about that, but you can at your leisure time if you have someone there, because volunteering actually takes a lot of things. Let me just tell you this: when you are volunteering in a place, know that you will work like you are going to work. They will load you with lots of work. They really want to stretch you to the limits to see how well you can cope. And those things are actually very key, because that aids to build your skill and see how you can manage things. So depending on the place where you are, if I mentioned some companies now that are in Abuja and you are an undergraduate student in Lagos, so how do you want to volunteer in a company that is in Abuja during your undergraduate study? So you can just look for organizations around you. If you have some, they may be local NGOs, those that are not that very, very big or around you. You can just look at them and write to them. Just write to them. It's free and other things. Just approach them. Or you see somebody that is working there, if you know anyone that's working there, build relationship, walk up to them and tell them, okay, I want to. Like in Lagos, I know there are a lot of NGOs there. There are a lot of NGOs in Lagos, in Abuja. I know there are a lot of them. As this can still tell us, some of them are in Abuja and the environs. But even in the northern part of the country where I'm based, we have a lot of them also that you can work. But as a graduate, there are more opportunities for you as a graduate than an undergraduate. And as a graduate, there are some places you can do volunteer and get paid as high as 300K in a month as a volunteer, and even 500,000. There are some that are still very small, as this is smiling. So there are places where they pay you very well, and there are some that will use you and they won't pay. So you may be lucky. So you just wait. Some companies release adverts that they need volunteers to work there. So check online, get linked to a lot of job sites that are giving you notification. You see companies that are coming up with adverts that they need volunteer. Do well to apply. Go there. Like those ones that are just entry levels, they don't really need much skill or requirements. So the companies are available everywhere. Just make sure that you are updated. I mean, you are flowing with the current trend. Get your link up to a lot of job sites. And depending on the area where you are, you can get places to volunteer. And for the person that is in Abuja, so which company can I apply to as a volunteer? So I think I will make mention of some companies. I will list some. I will share some where you can volunteer, but depending on the availability of space, and what you actually want to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. We'll be expecting your list because I've been out for a while. I can't remember everyone, but I know my company, for example, Solina Groups or Solina Center for International Development and Research. You can volunteer there actually, and what they do again is, as opposed to what they do in my set where they came to the NYC camp. Now, if you go to the company, you could see there's a form on the company's website where they ask just for NYC candidates specifically, because they use NYC as kind of their own graduate training program. So you could indicate on the website directly that you are coming for NYC in Abuja, or even if you're not in, I don't know if they still work for people, but you can indicate that you are going to be starting NYC this time and you like to work with them. And for my company, they pay NYC corpus. So again, it's just about being intentional, as we said. If you've identified a company you feel you can work with, you can use your NYC period to work your NYC placement and every other thing there so that you can just get started on with them already. Thanks. So for the person in Abuja, pressure, so you could look up Solina Groups. Here, and you could look up Sidani. I'll type them on the chat. Sidani is the Institute of International Development and Research also. There are so many in Abuja. If you're in Abuja, man, lucky for you.
Thank you, Abdul-Azeez. I think we have run out of questions just now. So after typing, you have the floor to give some closing remarks.
Hold on. Sorry to cut in, Gabriel. I think there is a question from someone asking about if they can volunteer for an internship program with KPMG Australia. So the answer is yes. The internship program is virtual, I think, as far as I'm aware. So you can easily volunteer to take part in it, since you don't have to travel down to Australia. And these are the things we are saying, like if you do that now, it's something you can put on your CV and you don't know where it can take you to eventually in the future.
And thanks, Larry. There's BCG also offers a couple of these virtual internship opportunities like KPMG. I still get their what do you call it? Their notifications when they have new programs. So you could look up BCG. It's one of the best consulting firms as well. So I would like to thank everyone. I think we can just do vote of thanks at this moment. I'm trying to type. Faye has shared these resources. Our panelists, if you have any other resources you want to share, please. And you can please drop your LinkedIn, what do you call it? Connect, is it contact or something, link, if you like them to connect with you. Or you could just simply type them, look them up on LinkedIn, and establish where you've made connection with them so that they could easily identify you. We would like to thank all our colleagues. I understand that most of our colleagues joined. I saw Busayo, I saw Tayo, I saw Barnabas. I think Jimo Walio, a very good friend, joined as well. Saeed Kodri joined. I really recognize all of you. Thank you. Someone is mentioning Exen Research is there as well. Development and research. So that's that. I would like us, just before we round up, everyone on this meeting, if you can please switch on your video. I'd like to just take a snap. If you are comfortable with it, of course, it's not by force. But if you are comfortable with it, you can just switch on your video, be in an upright position, and let's just have like a snapshot, and we'll call it a day. Again, I recognize all organizers. Khalid Imam was very instrumental in ensuring this happens. Gabriel, I mean, a lot of people who just wanted to contribute, and you can see they still stayed up to the end. We really appreciate you guys. For those that would have loved to still contribute and we didn't just have the time to do this, we appreciate you as well. Who else? I just have a lot of people here who don't have their video turned on. Please, 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 I need this. At least the first page should be full. Nedu, you are here. Your video is not on. Eniola, Alex, Titi.
Khalid.
Yeah, please don't switch on your video. I really thank Daniel. He's a graduate, and I mean, he's been very instrumental in making this happen. I recognize all our Delso friends, Benin friends, and I understand that there are people from OU as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. A couple more videos should please be turned on, and we can just have our say cheese and or say pharmacology. I don't know what to call it. Oh, I see a lot of smiling faces. Please, Nedu, don't you want to be seen? Timmy, Abbas, a lot of people here. Please turn on your videos even if you're comfortable with this. Okay. 1, 2. Larry, please look here. 1, 2, go. Magic, thank you. I like that smile. Let's go again. 1. Gabriel, calm down, smile. Like your teeth. Don't mind me, guys. 1, 2, ready. I need to go. Thank you very much. I think it's safe to call it a day. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Yeah, I know some people here, but I don't know everyone. But thank you very much for this session. It's been a pleasure meeting everyone virtually. And till next time when we meet, you can look out for the graduate study. I don't know if you call it masterclass or anything. So Khalid has dropped his LinkedIn contact. If you're interested in graphic or UI design, please reach out to him. He's making money in dollars. And I don't know, you can be in Nigeria making dollars these days. Saeed Quadri also makes him pounds or so. So people are in Nigeria making money. You don't really have to go anywhere. And at the end of the day, it's money all of us are looking for. So we could call it a day here. Thank you very much for responding to our call. We hope to see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Shay, I see you. Bye.
Shay, you say I.